Hello adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have made it to Mississippi. We were planning on staying in Louisiana for a little while, but it rained us out, so we decided to hop on over to Mississippi and find out what it has to offer. So I'm very excited about this. It's going to be beautiful. We stopped off at the Welcome Center, so let's see what the Welcome Center has to offer. This video is going to be dedicated to what we find at this particular stop, because apparently there's a lot here. So let's go check out what happens when you come to Mississippi. So obviously there's a lot of places that you can enter into the state of Mississippi. We chose to come through Vicksburg today because historic Vicksburg has a lot of really unique pieces that we can come and explore and see, and we're going to be doing some of those things while we're here. However, coming to the visitor center, we get our very first taste of what Vicksburg has to offer. There's a little historic sign over here that's looking like it's calling our name for some brain wrinkles. Sure enough, the Vicksburg siege, beginning on May 16th, 1863, General Ulysses S. Grant, held the city under siege by cutting off all the supplies. Now, of course, I've stopped at many Civil War sites along the way on my channel, and I encourage you guys to stop as well, because you learn a lot about the country and the things that were happening at that time, and also get to hear the stories of the individuals who are involved on both sides of the coin. So that's definitely something that we're going to be seeing a lot of here in the Mississippi area especially. But wow, this Welcome Center is more than just the signs. It's also the views, and these views are spectacular. So obviously this is a little bit of a louder stop because of the bridges coming in from Louisiana into Mississippi. But also there is a railroad bridge, so the railroad can go from point A to point B as well. And as you can see, this vast open space is lined by cannons, also cannons that would have been used during the Civil War times. Now, Vicksburg has, again, a lot of different historic stops, which we're going to check out on some future videos. But oh my goodness, seeing the current going through this right now, knowing that it has been pouring down rain and it has just been intense water. You can see it churning, and even with that, you're seeing shipments come through and go under the bridges, and it is incredible. This is a part of the Blue Star Highway. That's a memorial that they do for all the armed forces, which I think is really cool. But there's some other things, and I'm about to go inside and find out what else they happen to have. This is an incredible stop. It is the best view I have seen in a while. Just being able to see that free-flowing water and the gorgeous bridges, it just puts me in just such a really amazing feeling, especially after all the rain earlier today canceled our plans. So inside I go. Wow, there are so many cool little pieces of history in here that we can read a little bit more of the story, and they hooked me up with this thing right here. So it has a map so that we can find out where we're going. It has all of the local businesses, and then they also have a lot of different other things here, so I think I'm gonna go check those out. But I had to stop in and see the historic side. Now, the Windsor Ruins is actually on my bucket list, so I'm hoping to go there as well, but we'll see how the weather works out for us. We will see. Okay. This was a great stop because look at all this information that I have for all of the exciting things that I could be doing now. And there are some really cool things in the state of Mississippi to see. So we found art trails, we found cool restaurants, we found an amazing blues bar owned by someone very cool and very high up on my list of people that I think are just impressive. And we found the home of none other than Jim Henson and Kermit the Frog. So all of that could be found here at the stop. Now, why should you stop off at Welcome Centers? Well, I think I've given you a lot of good reasons, but just in case those weren't good enough, I'm going to show you a few more views so you can see why. sure enough, there is something called the Navy Circle, which is just beyond where the visitor center is. And you can drive up or you can walk up. And I didn't know how far it would be, so I went ahead and drove up. But realistically, you could walk up. And there is a historic sign here and a cannon and another good view. Let's go check it out. This is called Gibraltar on the Confederacy. And it says here that vital supplies of food, clothing, and other items were actually shipped right up this riverfront right here. But the high bluffs that we're actually on provided a perch for the powerful Confederate cannons, and they kept the gunboats at bay as a result of that. Now you can see here the river boats, and the city is actually built up onto the side, and this is Vicksburg right here. And then you can also see a little historic photo of the Vicksburg Railroad. So what they would do is they would bring things in and then they would ship them down the river, and that was an easy way for them to transport things. However, whenever the war broke out, this also became a place where many of the pieces of warfare would be in fact fought. So in other words, where we are, we're pretty high up in comparison to the actual waterfront. As you can see, I look like I'm towering over it. I look like I'm even towering over some of these large bridges, but I'm gonna give you a closer view of this in just a moment. But this was used as a strategic stronghold here in the Vicksburg area. And again, we're gonna do some of the historic sites a little bit later, but this one is attached to the Welcome Center, so I wanted to give you a little sneak peek of what's coming up, because I think that if you like brain wrinkles, you're gonna love this one. Okay, then we go up the stairs themselves, and this is how we get to the higher point where the cannons would have been. This is called the Navy Circle, and this is part of the Vicksburg National Military Park, but as you can see, it's detached from the actual park itself and right next to the visitor center, which is right here. So now that we've made it to the top, there is an actual cannon here that you can see, so you can get an idea of the size. Just for reference, this is my hand. My hand barely goes over a little tiny piece of this cannon, and yet it's so long. Now, whenever they were using this, they would have used this and been able to directionalize it so that they could shoot this massive cannon into the direction of the river. And I think you can see why this would have been a stronghold, because of the cover of this small hill here, but then they could see clearly down into the waterway. It's pretty neat to see in size and then also in placement. This is just very interesting. And of course, from up here, you can also get a beautiful view of the river itself, once again, with those barges that they're pushing through there. It's so fabulous up here, especially on a pretty day where it's cool enough to just be able to enjoy it. And then there's Riley over there. Hi, Riley. There's also some more information up here about this, so I definitely encourage you all to come up, get in the views, but also take in the history of Vicksburg. So guys, today I know it was a little bit of a shorter video, but I like to share things like this because I think that they're the things that we don't commonly think of. We think of going to the big attractions, but sometimes we miss out on the little things that are waiting for us just to be found. A welcome center is an amazing place for you to stop off and learn about the area that you're going to, but also to take in some of the unique things. Here in Vicksburg, they have a cannon, another row of cannons, and all sorts of cool history, not to mention these spectacular views. So if you didn't stop here, you'd miss all of that. Next time you're entering a new state, instead of just passing it by and going on to the next attraction or campsite, stop off at the Welcome Center. See what's around you. See if they have any cool history. You never know what you could find whenever you open your eyes to some new experiences. Remember guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. I am so excited about Mississippi. This is gonna be great, and you guys are coming with me. Till next time guys, bye.